Yeah, assalamu alaikum. This is Brother Clifton Raheem Bradley of the Underground Railroad Podcast. And you know what today, you know what? We're gonna talk about President Donald J. Trump. And you know what? She has some guests coming in. And this is going to be a very interesting 4 years. Somebody's out there saying, hey, he's not going to make it to 4 years. I say only the creator knows that. So you can say that, all day. Only the creator knows it. And it's just going to be interesting. And what we're going to cover is the subject matters that we are going to cover is um, America. Okay, will Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, make America great again? Some might say, was it ever great? Okay, and then we're gonna about these tariffs that have possibly will be imposed on Mexico. Okay, and Central America and China. That's a big one. Okay. And Sanctuary City. Everybody's talking about Sanctuary City. What is Sanctuary City? That's a safe haven for people that come in from other countries and they get entitlements. Okay. Like link card or debit card and stay in a 4-star hotel and you have veterans that are sleeping up underneath bridges. Okay. And you know what? All of them are overwhelming. You know what? Because we have over 100 executive orders, and you know what? A lot of things have been laid to rest. And the thing is, I'm interested to see how this 4 years are going to go. Because you know what? The thing is, so much content is going to be created that is just overwhelming. And if you get a chance, you know what, scan the code, okay? Because this helps with our social media platform to give donations, and we appreciate that. But also, I want you to call in to let the listening audience know, man, who did you vote for? Who did you vote for? There might be somebody that cannot see that is listening. So you know what? This is in Chicago, the United States, in Chicago, and the telephone number is 1-312-884-9757. And the thing is, hey, you know what? You can even leave a message in the chat room. You can leave a message in the chat room. And thing is, this is going to be an interesting 4 years. I go to a restaurant just about every morning and drink coffee. And there are a lot of people that are just crying. They say, Kamala Harris, wow, they're very, very upset. They're very upset that Kamala Harris did not win. And and you know what? It's just interesting to me that people that voted for Kamala Harris, they voted for her. Which this is a democracy, and you should have the right to vote for the candidate that you want. And then you have to accept it. You have to accept it, and you have to live with it. I'm looking at the I mean, black African Americans in Congress and Schumer, okay, which is a whip for the Congress of New York. And the thing is, they're crying. And I got my guests come in, and we're gonna get started. Assalamu alaikum,
What's up, my brother?
brother. How you doing, brother? How you
Listen
doing?
here, man. I've been trying to log on to this for like the last
Oh, no, but you know what? It's the thing is. Let me tell first of all, Assalamu alaikum, and I want to say this is a political strategist
couple.
for for the Republican Party. Okay. I know that he has helped Republicans get in office, and because of disclosure, he cannot disclose
I'm just an
who
everyday.
he helped. Because
I'm just an
I
everyday voter.
yeah, that,
Listen. I assist. I'm a registered Republican, but I also have assist some Democrats.
oh, you're a consultant. You're a
Well, I
consultant.
wouldn't say consult. I
Yeah,
just
oh, now you're going to take the title back. Okay, so that's me overstep. But because of the confidentiality documentation, you cannot divulge who you helped because of that. Is that the reason?
well, I, I try to just
You
you
can't
know
divulge it,
I,
huh?
I stay in my lane.
But I know you helped former president, I mean President Donald Trump. And you know
Yes,
what? I'm waiting on somebody to come in, but you know, for individuals out there that are looking for a political consultant, okay, and I guess the Republican Party, but you're indicating that you will help Democrats too. Are you saying that?
very few. Like this few is few.
What is your telephone number if some people are looking for a political consultant? What's your telephone number?
Um,
I know you got a Google's number. Come on, you got a business number. You don't want to give. Just give it to me later on. But you know what?
I'll give it to you later on today. You can.
Okay, so you know what? He is an NRA
I
member, and
I
he is a strong supporter of U.S. President Donald Trump. He probably knows him personally.
I do not.
Oh, okay.
I'll go to Washington D.C. if need be.
Okay. And I would like to, you know, Brother Jabara, he's from out of Chicago, Illinois. So if y'all looking to hire a political consultant, this is the man to talk that can help you. And I've often asked him who is he helping. He can't divulge it because of confidentiality. And I'm pretty sure he has that documentation signed the way he can't reveal that. Okay.
Right.
But anyway, brother, I want to ask you, brother. Thank you for accepting the invitation, and I think next week,
Always.
with what I have, I mean, you're going to be representing the Republican Party. I'm going to have a Democrat on and have a moderate on. But for this week, I want to ask you, brother, when we look at this, is President Donald Trump going to make America great again? Can you tell us, first of all, start out, what was the demise of the United States? Because I heard President Donald Trump said, I wouldn't even have run if he was doing a good job.
Just
He said
you know,
he said I was comfortable if he would not have if he was doing a great job, I wouldn't. What was the demise of the United States? I mean to
I
the okay.
I'll start by saying that President Trump is sort of a manifestation of the Democratic Party failure.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, he wouldn't have become as powerful as he has become if the Democrats did not slip so far into the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
was so much that was going on that I mean I mean they manifested him or an individual like him was surely going to come.
Yes.
It was no question about that.
Yes.
There was no question about that. The liberals were just pushing too far to the left, too far to the left, and too quick. Too far to the left and too quick.
Mm-hmm.
Everything should be done gradually.
Yes.
Everything,
Yes.
everything. But the liberals kind of like, well, they grabbed the bull by the horn. I'll give them that.
I mean, do you agree? Do you go with his assessment to where he said I wouldn't even have run if the country was doing well? He said I was quite comfortable where I was at.
I think
Do
he
you agree
was.
with
Yeah,
that?
he was part of the people benefiting off of most of the policies that the country had in place. I mean, he's a billionaire and he had his team of lawyers and accountants and,
Hmm.
I mean, If I was in this position, I wouldn't have not. I would not run if I was in this position.
If everything was okay.
Listen, as a millionaire, you're at the table already.
Mhm.
So why take on the unnecessary stress?
Yes, yes.
I don't personally. I would never run for president. I don't like the bubble per
Mhm.
se. So I mean, if I was in this position, I definitely wouldn't have run for president of the United States.
Yeah.
Maybe for something, but I definitely wouldn't have ran for the White House. That I mean,
Hmm.
Biden is enough to the point where he did not have to seek the position or the office of the president. But I guess he got his reasons.
Yeah. But when he makes a statement, make America great again, talking about this will be the golden age, something magnificent that has never happened. Can you elaborate on that
I
for me?
honestly cannot elaborate because for some reason it's got a bad stigma attached to it now. I guess because of or people's emotion when it comes to Donald Trump. But it was actually, I've heard it. Clinton used it back in the '90s
Yes.
before him. So it's actually like a Reagan era.
Mhm.
Um, more of your generation, more of your time. I would say I'm a millennial, so I mean, as a student of politics, I know that he didn't create the expression, and
Yes.
I guess he's trying to take us back to the '80s. I guess I don't know. That's what I think about when I hear it. I think about the '80s. Listen, I think about
Hmm.
crack epidemic. I think about a whole bunch of stuff. The
Yeah.
Berlin Wall. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I think about when I hear "Make America Great Again." But I'm guessing that you know it could be a reference to post World War II.
Hey,
At
this.
that point, we were manufacturing practically everything that
Hmm.
we needed in the
Hmm.
country, and we produced so much that hell, we had products being shipped all over the world. It's
Yes.
the position that China is in now. It's the position that we were in
Hmm.
75 years ago.
Yes. Oh,
So
I-
if
go ahead.
I had to guess, I'm assuming that's the position that he's talking about, us being in a position where we don't import a lot of goods, where we're producing our own things, we're making our own things, which creates a vital economy and feeding people.
When we talk about President Donald Trump and the Republican Party, do you feel that blacks started out in the Republican Party? It appears as though black people, African Americans, and other nationalities are going back to the Republican Party. What do you think are some aspects that are involved where we started out in the party and left it, but we're coming back? What are some of the aspects that are
Now, you know
involved?
what? I had this conversation prior to the election that black people aren't coming back to the Republican Party. I think that African Americans were just going to vote for Trump.
Mm.
But I can honestly say now, living in Chicago, there's going to be a lot of black registered Republicans.
Hmm.
There's
Wow.
going to be a lot because people just, it's not a matter of our history as being members of the Republican Party. I think that Democrats have just almost cursed, effed up so bad that now people are willing to realign themselves for the possibility of
Yes.
change.
Yes. And the thing is, what I know you're not a Democrat.
No,
Where
sir.
where did the Democrats fail on a messaging? But I guess you really can't. You might not be able to answer that. But
Well, yeah, because no. The thing about the Democratic Party is, God rest his soul, the last real Democrat president
yes,
in office was Jimmy Carter.
yes,
So you're Obama, you're Clinton's. See, they're neoliberals. There's
Oh,
neoliberalism and your traditional Democrat.
yes.
So when it comes to this new Democratic Party, I mean, I peg them for elitists. I mean, every time you talk, they just come across as elitists.
You say it's a joke too, huh?
Like, oh, they aren't educated, or oh, they aren't this, and it's listen here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Get your ass out my face.
Alhamdulillah.
I mean, listen, go on somewhere, man. Get nobody
Mm-hmm.
do they BS. I mean, like Brandon Johnson,
Chicago mayor.
the governor.
Yes. Prisker.
They have taken taxpayer dollars
Yes.
and have mismanaged it
Yes.
in the name of immigration. And I say that because I don't want people to get misconstrued my I don't want people to misconstrue my perception or my policy or my thinking on the matter of immigration. I was having a conversation yesterday with a friend of mine about the raids. The
Mm-hmm.
raids are coming off as rather crass.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming off as not too neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting sloppy, and especially here in Chicago. Um, so I explained to him that I am not against immigrants, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Well, I see your social media, and you be posting these videos and blah blah blah." At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, I'm really not against immigrants. I'm not. If you want to come to America to you know somehow make your life better, and if you contribute, I'm fine with that. The
Yes.
migrant spending is where things get fickle. Uh, and believe it or not, some migrants were getting a lot of money, but overall, most migrants weren't getting anything. It's the people who are the contractors who are
Yeah.
getting money.
Yeah, but I got to ask you something. I want to play something of President Donald Trump when we say "Make America Great Again." I want you to elaborate on this, and please, please, just 1 second, okay?
America begins right now.
Please.
Day
I
forward,
know
our
what I'm
country will
doing.
flourish and be respected again all over the world. We'll be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of.
Uh, Question it. Okay, so I'm coming back. Coming back.
Okay,
I'm coming back to me. Now I'm trying to get the Okay, what do you think about that statement? Do you think
that's what he's referring to. He's
do,
referring to
do you
where
do you do you think that countries took advantage of us? Do you think that China, Mexico, and all these countries, like when they flew a surveillance balloon over the United
well,
States of America, and
I'm
in the repudiation, no problems. What did you? I mean, what did you? What was your assessment of that, brother?
first to your original question in regards to make America great again. I believe that the president is referring to a time where America was the global leader, the de facto global leader of
Hmm.
manufacturing.
Hmm.
We was the leader in auto building. We were the leaders in appliances.
Yes,
We were the kings of air conditioners
yes,
manufacturing, um, oven manufacturing, television manufacturing, uh,
yes.
ration. We were making everything.
Hmm.
Um, and we had I was talking to my godfather like a week ago,
Hmm.
half ago,
Hmm.
and he made a reference to he's like a baby boomer, so he's like 69 ish.
Yes, yes,
He spoke about the 70s, how in the 70s one of his uncles or someone you can walk off a job in the 70s and
yes.
walk 2 blocks and find another job.
Yes.
That you cannot do right now in America.
No.
You can walk off the job right now, like right now, you cannot walk off the job and walk 2 blocks to find another job
No.
anywhere in this country, from Maine to California.
Yes.
So I think that's what he's referring to when he says, "Let's make America great again." And
Yes.
no one really can take an advantage of us, you know.
I mean, you don't think they
For,
took advantage of Biden and
no, because
because how can you fly a balloon over the
no,
United States of okay, go ahead.
that's more espionage, clandestine, like intelligence stuff. But when it comes to economic policies, no, they can't take advantage of us because at the end of the day, President Reagan signed a shitty trade deal, in my opinion.
So are you saying Biden did a great job with and that foreign leaders like President Xi and President Putin didn't take advantage of situations because he was
Oh
sort of mentally
no.
unstable? Okay.
What in referring to taking advantage? What are you referring to when you
I'm talking about Russia invading the Ukraine.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Fires, which
yeah.
trade wars. In
Yeah.
other words, with their products that China will not take from the United States, and they're stealing
There was that.
intellectual property. So that's what I was asking.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why you said laughing
yeah,
stock. So if you
yeah,
can elaborate on it, I appreciate it.
yeah. There was definitely some advantages there. Um, China going into Hong Kong, Russia going into Ukraine. I think that if Biden wasn't elected, that
Me,
second,
Taiwan,
yeah,
and
I
okay,
yeah, Taiwan because they already have Hong Kong. Correct. Thank you
okay,
for that. Yeah, I think that what we have seen over the last 4 years wouldn't have transpired.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. There was definitely. It wasn't a matter of taking advantage of someone. I think that at that point, some people just perceived us as not as strong as our reputation perceived us previous to the last few generations because, well, not too many people tested Obama. People typically don't test Republicans because Republicans are very big on military and spending and shooting and killing and but not too many people took advantage of Obama because he
mm-hmm.
was the king of drones. So
Yeah.
he was a man of action. I'll give him that.
Mm-hmm.
Obama, as much as I do not agree with none of his policies, that man there was.
Well, I mean, brother Javaris, he is a political consultant, and my question is to you is, I don't believe that the invasion of Ukraine, okay, and what's going on in Taiwan and balloons and them buying up intellectual property in the United States of America and TikTok, I don't believe that would have went on Donald Trump's watch. And
I
what
would.
happened? What happened in Israel? I feel as though they took advantage of him because I'm trying to be nice in my behavior because as you get older, you lose your thinking capacity, and you know what? He demonstrated that during the debate.
Yeah, there was some advantage taken care of. I think the Israel and Palestine thing that was going to happen regardless because Israel is Israel.
Yes.
The Zionist movement is the Zionist movement.
Yeah.
So that was going to happen regardless. Um, if Biden was in office or Biden wasn't in office, I think the Russian Ukraine um, conflict would not have happened
Yeah.
because I don't think the Ukrainians. Well, first off, what's the president of Ukraine? Zelensky.
Blacked out. Okay. Zelensky is the president.
Cut
Zelensky is
it.
he
I
used to
don't
be
think
he used
that
to be
it
an
would
actor.
have happened because I don't think Trump would have agitated Putin. See, Biden and that old liberal faction, they agitated him. They made the decision that they were going to, try to um, have Ukraine join NATO, and they knew Putin's response. They knew exactly how he was going to respond. So that was just creating a conflict for the sake. Personally, this is my opinion. I believe that they intentionally did that for the purposes of supporting or feeding the military industrial complex. I see that
Hmm.
hey Cliff.
Yes. I hear you. So I hear you. Go ahead. I'm listening
Cliff.
to you. Got a message saying great information. Go ahead, brother. I'm listening to you. So he must be having some type of technical. He must be having some type of technical difficulty, and you know what? He will hopefully be back. And oh, okay, you back.
Right. Something
Okay,
something happened there.
okay.
Um
Might be the NSA. Go ahead, brother.
I don't think that the conflict in the Ukraine Russia would have happened if Trump was in office. I this is just my personal opinion. I think that there were interior bodies who actually contributed to the Russian Ukraine conflict, aka the military industrial complex. I think that they somehow got the Biden administration to
Yeah.
somehow, hey, invite Ukraine to, NATO or whatever, and they knew that Russia was going to retaliate. They knew Putin was going to retaliate. I mean, if I was the president, I wouldn't have extended the invitation to the Ukraine to Ukraine. I mean,
Yes.
what is the what do they call it? Strategic advantage of having Ukraine in NATO. I mean, what would that organization gain by having Ukraine as a member?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing. Strategically, nothing really. So they did that intentionally just to create a beef because they knew Putin was going to retaliate.
I mean, but what I'm saying is when I made the statement taking advantage of, as you said, I don't believe that they would have done that on President Donald Trump's watch. I just don't.
No, no,
I heard him say that. I
no,
heard him.
no. They wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have done it because right now, realistically, Russia is not winning. I wouldn't say they're losing, but they are not winning,
Yes.
which is a whole nother story in its own. Because when the conflict initially started, I
Yes.
just knew Russia was just going to smoke the Ukrainians,
Yes. Yes.
unfortunately, and it was just going to be it.
Yes.
Russia now has imported North Korean soldiers,
Yes.
so yeah, that I think that Russia. I
Yes.
don't know if they knew it at the time, but they most
Yes.
certainly know it now that they are not in a position to participate in any conflicts
Yes.
militarily. So yeah, I think if Donald Trump, if Biden wasn't in office, I don't think that conflict wouldn't even exist, and I think that it will come to an end very soon.
Brothers just sent a message. He said, "What's going on?" I'm talking with a Republican geopolitical strategist about President Donald Trump, and you are welcome to call in and give your input, and we would appreciate that. So that's what's going on, Mr. Lowe. Leave a message in the chat room. Okay. And just go ahead and finish your thoughts because I'm going to go to the next video once you finish. Finish your thoughts. Go ahead.
So yeah, I wouldn't say an advantage. I just people will constantly test people. That's just human nature.
Yeah.
So it's not really like an advantage thing. It's just that people, when there's a shift in power or a shift in bodies, people just, hey, let's try this or let's try that, and that's just the nature of humans. That's just the name
Yeah.
of the game.
And you know what, brother? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the next video. I hope I got this right. Because you know what, man? If I'm learning this, to the people out there that is looking at this, I'm learning this. I'm learning
Oh
this.
yeah, I just
Because you
like
know what, because you know what, this is much easier than going to can television for me. Because all I do is talking heads anyway.
okay. Like he just posted something. Somebody named Mars Lowell.
Yes, he said, "What's going on?" He said he wanted to know what the topic of
Oh no
discussion
no no
was.
no. He posted after that. He posted another statement.
Oh,
In
okay.
my honest opinion, Donald Trump has become a polarized political figure. It's the love and hate he received. I completely agree with that.
You
I,
agree with it?
he,
Why do you agree with that?
he is. He's the most polarized individual I've ever seen in the political spectrum. He
What
he
what deeming qualities has he exhibited to become polarized? Hello?
he says exactly what he thinks. Um, and his beliefs in
Yes.
themselves are questionable. Some people like it and some people don't. So I think what you see is what you get with Donald Trump.
Yes. Yes.
Because there's three things when it comes to politics.
Hmm.
You have, or three things in regards to individuals when it comes to politics. You get people who believe one thing,
Yes.
they say one thing, and
Yes.
do one thing.
Hmm.
They believe one thing, they may go out and say another thing, and they may, in all actuality, do something totally different from the first two.
What
So,
let me ask you something? What are some of the deeming qualities that make some people hate you and you become polarized? Because everybody's not going to love you anyway. So can
regardless, so that's why
you
that's
tell us
why
what?
that's why I don't even go into it, because at the end of the day, everybody is not going to like you know one candidate, and if you do, you probably should watch the candidate that everybody likes.
Everybody hates Chris. Okay, brother.
Go ahead and go with your role in, man.
That's a television show.
I know.
Okay. Well, brother, I'm gonna roll the next video,
Go ahead.
and you know what? I want you get your synopsis and your take on this. Okay. Okay. Let me
America
do
begins right
this.
now. Day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again
No,
all
I
over the
did it
world. We'll
already.
be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of. The tariff, the more likely it is
Here's
that
the
the
next
company
one.
will come into the United States and build a factory in the United States so it doesn't have to pay.
Let me play it one more time for people that didn't catch it. Okay.
The tariff, the more likely it
Okay.
is that the company will come into the United States and build a factory in the United States so it doesn't have to pay the tariff.
Um. Jabaris, my question is to you about the tariffs. Do you think that the United States has been treated unfairly in the deal that Obama made with Mexico and Central America? And I think that it was him, the Northern American trade deal, that we were out. He was outsmarted, and it just was not a good
He
deal
wasn't
for the
outsmarted.
United States.
These people aren't outsmarted. What happens is it's all about lobbying. Different firms, different companies, different countries, they hire lobbyists, and these people get to work and they go out, they do their job, they get paid. Politicians get paid, people get paid under the table, people get kickbacks. It, at the end of the day, it's nobody's being tricked. It's just
You
an
don't think
exchange.
it was a bad deal?
No, no, that's
Well,
I don't.
my question objective question to you is it not true that Canada was letting fentanyl come into the United States of America? Is it not true
That's the word.
that Mexico was letting people come into the United States in impunity until President Donald Trump put these tariffs on? Now we have 10,000 people on the Mexican border. And in Canada, they have strengthened their military presence at the borders. So,
That's
I mean, what is your assessment about the tariffs? Do you think that these countries would have done this without the tariffs?
no, they wouldn't
Okay,
have. That's for sure. No,
explain it.
he's forcing their hands, and people are capitulating, as they say. And the same thing will happen with the rest of the world, with Europe, with Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the unfortunate part about the tariffs is we do have to pay for it if people call our bluff.
Yes,
That's the only unfortunate part about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, even if the tariffs are implemented, at best,
yes,
you're talking about, this is just me guessing, 3 months at the most with China, if it even gets that far. Most people tend to, the thing is, it's not actually about placing tariffs on people. That's not the name of the game. The
it's
name
a
of the game,
bargaining chip, isn't it?
it's just negotiation tactics. It's just a part of the negotiation tactic. The objective is not to actually put tariffs on people, like how he threatened to put tariffs or said that he was going to put tariffs on Mexico and Canada, and now you see troops, ten
Yeah,
thousand troops from Mexico on the border assist
yes,
American military personnel and customs and border customs personnel, and you also see that Canada has made significant investments in securing the border from the north, which is
yes.
odd because a lot of people actually fly into America.
Hmm. I'm listening.
Most of the illegals I know got on the plane and came into America. Nobody came across the border personally that I know, but I did see how people were coming across the southern border. That was insane. Those caravans and that nature.
Yeah,
Um, boy, that's some dangerous work, there, man. All
I
those
mean,
all those people coming that came across, man.
mhm,
I'm in Chicago. It is said that we had 53,000 migrants to come
yes.
to
I'm
Chicago,
coming to that. I'm coming to that next. But go ahead, brother. Okay.
and they were everywhere.
Yes.
Now you don't see anybody. I mean, they were all outside the live facilities. They were all downtown. They were in the West Loop. They were in Greektown. They were everywhere. Now you don't see anybody on the street. Brandon Johnson has
Mm-hmm.
used taxpayer dollars yet
Mm-hmm.
again to hide these people.
Mm-hmm.
3,000 people just gone like that, and that's these guys are wicked, man. These guys are wicked. They
But
wicked.
what I'm asking you is do you think that him putting the tariffs on these countries, it was a strategy?
Yeah,
It was like playing poker.
yeah,
Okay. In other words, I might not have a hand, but you know what? I don't fold. I say, you know what? I see you $10 more, okay? And you know what? And you put the pressure on other, and this was to apply pressure. This is pressure that the Democrats and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris would not have applied because they're traditional politicians. Can you elaborate on that?
yeah. I mean, you asked a question and you answered it. It was just a negotiation tactic. It was just forcing their hands, and thus far, China and Mexico has they folded. They
Yeah.
have folded, and China will too, because at the end of the day, strategic never beat us. They will never beat us. And it's just economic. China and America relations is like the mafia. At the end of the day, we kind of fight with each other, but it's all about the business.
Mhm.
And see, China is going. China will be like, you know what, the hell with this.
Mhm.
Whatever he wants, what's fair.
Yeah.
China will try to get as close to the line, to the fair line as possible.
Mhm.
But I
You
don't. I
got you
don't
got a question in the chat room when you finish. When you finish, you got a question in the chat room.
know. Yes, he. This guy overall, Donald Trump is not playing with these jokers. He is not.
Okay. The question is, by forcing the hands, is that it will bring stability throughout the world economically? That's a question to you. That's the question to you, Jabaris?
Stability in our order, yes. In our will, yes.
Hmm.
But see, the thing is,
Hmm.
it's all about economic superiority. That's
Yes.
what it's all about. And Trump is trying to get us as close to that as possible.
Hmm.
That's what he means by making us great again.
Hmm.
And I think that he's gonna see. The thing is, he can only be president for 4 years. So after these 4 years are over, everything that he,
Is that all? Go ahead.
yeah, I- they're
I'm
gonna
joking.
they're gonna try. They're gonna, you know what? They're gonna try, but it won't work. It won't. I'm an institutionalist.
Well,
I'm an institutionalist. I voted for Trump, but come January, 4 years from now, he's got to leave because that is what we. He just says stability,
yeah,
stability and continuity.
yeah.
Trump got to go, and after his 4 years is up, and that's it. That's all we need to say about that. But it's all about he's trying to put us in a position that we were once in. Like we just completely dominated the globe.
Hmm. Yeah. You got something in the chat room. It said overall, Donald Trump is not playing. He's not playing with these jokers.
Yeah, he ain't. He's not playing with him. He's not playing with him. He's not taking any prisoners either.
But the question is, do you think that China will capitulate?
Yes,
President Xi will capitulate and give a little, and and if so, China is stealing intellectual property from the United States of America and improving it, like deep minds, okay, and other things. Why is it that China closes up their society to them, letting a lot of U.S. products come into their country?
because they know the formula to making themselves great.
Mm,
They know
okay.
that they know the MAGA formula. So
Mm,
if they just know, most countries know the more you produce internally, the better. The more you produce internally, and get trading partners all over the world to purchase, the better off you'll be. Now, I did see a report that initially when Trump tried this 4 years ago, China capitulated because China was not in a position financially to
yes.
fight Trump. But
Yes.
said that China is a little different today financially. They can
Hmm.
hold off. They can participate in the actual trade war.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's the only frightening part about it. If it's actually true, then we will see an increase in the cost of products.
Hmm.
But I think at the end of the day, America will walk away with the upper hand after the dust is settled.
Hmm. You know what? Strange. We're talking about economy, and I want to ask you something. I don't know. I know you keep up with the news, and I don't know if you're aware of BRICS and that Indonesia
Right.
just joined the BRIC nation. I would like to ask you, how does the United States compete against BRICS. These are people. These are nations that have come together like India, China, and the United. I mean China and Brazil and
Russia.
Indonesia, and their money, their currency is going to be backed by gold. Okay, but the U.S. currency is not backed by anything. Do
Listen,
you? So
BRICS. Listen,
yeah,
BRICS is, well, initially or originally it started out with Russia, well, Brazil, Russia, India, China. That's the BRIC part. I know that South America is now part of it. I did not know Indonesia had joined. I know that's
they just joined. Yeah.
right. Saudi Arabia was playing the fence with it. Um, at the end of the day, it won't work.
My question to you is: you said will not work. Um, but
Well, hey,
President Nixon in 1971 took the United States off of the gold standard. What I'm
hey,
saying is the
culturally,
dollar bill is not backed by anything.
yeah,
Okay, but,
but
but
yeah, the dollar bill is backed by something.
no, it's not. What is
Yeah,
it back? We were taking off the gold standard
no, no,
in
no, no, no.
1971.
I didn't say it was backed by gold. I said we are backed by something. It's the U.S. Department of Defense.
Oh, you're talking about defense. I'm talking
That you
I'm
got
talking about currency. Currency.
currency. Yeah, the last two people who tried to undervalue American currency, what happened to them?
What I'm saying is BRICS currency, once they created, it is backed by something.
Right,
Okay.
but
The dollar bill is not backed by. I'm saying is there's no currency.
currency.
What I'm saying is
There's
all
no.
they're doing is printing up more and more and more capital,
Guess
making
what? Guess
inflation.
what? Guess what?
Yeah.
Brick is doing the same thing.
No,
Nobody nobody's backing up their currency by with gold or silver, but material no more. We
okay.
nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that anymore. Nobody's doing that anymore. When did Russia get gold mines?
Now you know about BRICS though.
Yeah,
You know
bricks.
about
I heard. Listen, bricks been
okay.
smoking era for the last 25 years.
So you're
Type of-
saying
Oh, they bricks were created like in the 2000s.
yeah.
Yeah, and they still haven't gotten anywhere.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time. But you're saying bricks is nothing but according to the information that I have read, that I know that the Federal Reserve print the dollar bill and it's not backed by anything, and
It
that
is back.
their currency will be backed by
Back.
gold.
It's backed by 2 million men and women of the United States Armed Forces.
Hmm.
That's what it's backed by. Anybody who don't take it, anybody who don't spend it, anybody who don't participate in it, we will come to your country and we will spread democracy.
Okay.
Saddam Hussein tried to sell his oil in gold and not the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Muammar Gaddafi tried to create the was he tried to sell his oil in gold only, and
Mm-hmm.
you know democracy.
Yes. Okay. Got a question in the chat room. I understand your viewpoint. Donald Trump only has 4 years, so luckily he'll make a huge impact with what's the strategies of making America great again, or at least make America ahead of the curves. What is your opinion of that?
I think that's going to happen
Why you say that?
because hey, right now he's just too powerful. He's too powerful, and not he's just too powerful because he's got the support of the people overall. He's got the support of a lot of people in a lot of places around the world, not just
Yeah.
America. He's got a lot of people supporting him.
Yes.
He's got a lot of people, and
Yes.
and honestly, this time around, I think things will be a little different because his chief of staff, she ain't down with a lot of the BS.
Yes.
She's more straightforward, straight policy. It's got to make sense type of individual. Susie
Yes.
don't. Yeah, she's not. I don't know what was going on. Well, the first 4 years I actually enjoyed. So,
hmm Let
um,
me give let me give a quick recap. I'm talking to Brother Javaris. He is a geopolitical strategist and consultant for the Republican Party, and he's a consultant. Like I say, he can't reveal to me who he's worked for because he signed
I
confident,
I just
confidentiality documents, and I get it. But
people are so emotional now
uh,
that when you say who you've worked for or who you've helped, people get all, oh, you helped him, and people you helped him, and 30 years ago, 40 years ago, long before, well before my time,
mhm,
you were a strategist. You were a strategist. You helped someone volunteer. It was that was just it. You had people back in the day who would help someone in one cycle of one party, and they help someone in the next cycle
mhm.
of another party. But now
Yeah,
it's just people are just so crazy. It's just
can almost be a death threat. I get it.
well, no, it's just less. It's just less headache to just
Yeah. But
you know.
he is a strat. He is a geopolitical strategist for hire. I imagine you help politicians all over the United States of America. But
All
um,
over, but particularly I try to stay local, and hopefully I'll be real active um, in Chicago because um, there's a strong, very, very, very
mhm,
strong um, support for republicanism in the Chicagoland area. This
yeah,
last election cycle, the state
hmm
Democrats almost lost the state, man.
I know it almost turned red.
The
Chicago saved it.
Chicago and no and like, dude, Chicago's about to get flipped, bro.
Mhm. Okay.
Chicago's about to get, well, not completely flipped, but you're about to see some Republicans in some positions that you haven't seen since uh, Thompson was the mayor of Chicago in the 1930s. You're probably gonna see some Republican aldermen, some Republican state General Assembly members. You're probably going to see some Republican Cook County commissioners. I don't think that they will flip the mayoral seat red. I can see the governor being flipped red. I can see the Cook County Board president being flipped red. Chicago is very stubborn.
Yes.
So, but I could see some alderman seats flipped. So hopefully, uh, I'll be participating in some of that.
Okay. And let me put a note out there. People that support this platform, please make a donation to our PayPal, um, a PayPal account to help the Underground Railroad podcast, or buy something at our store on YouTube. And one thing I like about this, man, you can't advertise on canned television, but you can do it on the internet.
They say, and that will probably change very near future.
And you know what, Jabaris, you know what, it's the bottom line is you think that President Xi of China, he will capitulate, he will give and take
It's
because he
not
understands.
not a, not a matter of President Xi. President China is different. It's a matter of the high command of China.
Yes.
It is strategically advantage. Is it strategically good for the country to play ball with Trump? See, the thing
Mhm.
about the Chinese is they have, like, how there's an expression, the 5 year plan,
Yes.
25 years ahead, a
Yeah.
hundred ahead, 100 years ahead. Right now, it may be in their best interest to play ball with Trump because 8 years from now, they may be in a whole different position. Like,
hmm
when Trump first imposed tariffs, had his spat with him 4 years ago,
Hmm.
they weren't in a position to really put up a fight.
Yes.
Now they can hold themselves in a tariff war for
Yes.
a short amount of time,
Hmm. Hmm.
and they may participate or engage in this tariff war with Trump for a short time to gain something. I'm pretty sure
Yes.
they will capitulate,
Hmm.
and because of the holdout, and then the switch to supporting Trump's or the Western world or America's agenda
Hmm.
may catapult them into being in a position that they truly desire to be into.
Okay.
Now,
Oh.
hold on. You're this guy said in my honest opinion, with all this cryptocurrency and printing money, eventually I'll come back around, aka the gold and silver standard. Sometimes old school is the best school. Now, you know what? It's interesting because um, there was talks that the Trump administration is now eyeing the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve ain't going nowhere, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Um,
Cryptocurrency.
and crypto. See, the thing about cryptocurrency is still backed by regular currency. So I'm not a big. I'm a listen. uh,
Bitcoins.
I am an institutionalist.
Hmm.
I like the dollar. The Federal Reserve is kind
Hmm.
of questionable, but I listen. I like a regulatory board. I like regulatory entities.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the Federal Reserve is more of a private hedge fund, but um, I like if the Federal Reserve was a actual federal entity,
Hmm.
actually governed
Yes.
for the better good of the American society as a whole.
Yes.
I would like it,
Yes.
but
I mean, what it's like you said, it's not federally backed, so therefore it's not protected. I get it. I
right.
get it. I
So
get it. I get it.
I like that protection. I like
Hmm.
that. Who's Robin Landis? Thank God for Trump and Musk. Yeah, I don't know what was going to happen if color green got in. That's what I call Kamala because she washed her
Yes.
green. She washed her greens in the bathtub. That's how
Yeah.
my
Mhm.
so I
Yeah. Thank
I
thank God for Trump and Elon Musk. Do you
right
think people are scrutinizing the relationship between President Donald Trump and Elon Musk? And I don't know why. Maybe you can.
because people are emotional. If Trump would have if Trump would have appointed somebody who we have never heard of, somebody who was never in front of the camera like Musk, and did the same thing, it probably wouldn't be as big as it is. I think the only reason why it has gotten so big is because it's Elon Musk and because he's in front of the camera.
Mhm.
I mean, Elon Musk and the Department of whatever the hell it's called, Doge, if it was created by Obama, you would have never heard anything. If it was created by Bush, you wouldn't have heard anything. If it was created by Biden, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have heard a word. But because it was created by Trump, because people are not a fan of his, and
Yes.
because Elon Musk is America's number one villain, I think with that combination, it makes it, But you know what? It's weird because it is
Mm-hmm.
rumored that the team is like five individuals and they're like 18 to 21 years old
Yes. Sir.
making those decisions. That is so funny. But see, that's what happens when you force people hands. See, when you force people hands, as
Yes.
Democrats have, it pushes people into uncharted territory. You
Yes.
put people into, you know, people often say the liberal elite, oh, I don't see what people see in Donald Trump. I don't see what people see in Donald Trump. I don't see what people blah 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 blah. He's a crook, or he does this, he does a lot of things. But guess what? I'm willing to turn a blind eye if it'd keep a 47-year-old man from sitting on the toilet next to my 6-year-old daughter in the women's bathroom.
I have to ask you a question, and you know what? As a journalist, I have to ask you this. You turn a blind eye. What was your response? Your reaction to President Trump releasing people that stormed the Capitol, like the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, out of jail? Okay, there were police officers, people that were hurt. That were hurt. What
Right.
do you think that was justifiable to let out the leader of the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers?
Well, A, let's just set the record straight. A, January 6th was a production.
Okay,
It was a production.
okay,
Um, the only thing about the production was there were characters or actors who was not aware that it was a production who got involved. You know how when you see a crowd, marching somewhere, and some people just join the crowd, not knowing what the crowd is there for, and then they just get all crazy. They get all excited. See, those are the ones who actually did a lot. The agitators, the operatives, the ones, the ones who create chaos.
yes,
See, those are the individuals that you got to watch.
yes.
January 6th, all smoke and mirrors, bro.
So I'm saying I'm asking, was it justified to give a executive pardon to
Well, hell,
the leader of the Proud
well,
Boys
I'll say
and Oath Keepers?
I'll say this. A lot of people kind of accepted Trump's pardon of the January 6th participants only because Biden had pardoned so many people. So a lot of Republicans were like, well, if Biden can give a pardon to his son and to Fauci and to all these other individuals, then Trump reserved the right to do the same.
Yeah.
Now, the only part, this is just my opinion,
Yes.
that they both the Republican and the Democrats, set a precedent that I'm not comfortable with. Because now it says that you can break the law and you won't be held accountable.
I
And
want to go back to the Oath Keepers. Was it good to give the Oath Keeper and one of the members of the Proud Boys? Was it
I
good?
mean, what's the difference between them and the people?
No, I'm asking, was it good?
A pardon is a pardon. If someone broke the law, then they broke the law, so they should be held accountable. So it's not
Okay.
a matter of Proud Boys, Oath Keepers. Proud Boys, Oath Keepers are no different than Fauci, no different than Biden. They
So
all
they so they should have been let out of jail. Okay, I get it. That's what you're saying.
no,
They should have. Okay.
no. What I'm saying is, people who have broken the law in some fashion should be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So whether Trump let him out or not, he's got the power. It was his prerogative, and he did it, and he justified it by saying that, well, those other guys did it, so why can't I do it?
What are you saying? That's not your call, but I'm just trying to get.
Right,
I'm
right.
just asking your assessment. Was this the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do?
There,
You
there,
don't want to be
there
bothered with the subject matter at all.
it's not a matter of right and wrong, because it's a matter of might.
Okay.
It's not a matter of right and wrong. It's a matter of might. He
Wow.
has the Biden had the might and the power and the authority to do it. AKA, and that's why I'm not trying to put it on an individual. I'm not trying to put it on Biden or Trump, because at the end of the day, both of them are like 150 years old. So it's the people who come after them who can somehow pardon somebody whose crime could be 100 times worse than some guys marching on the Capitol or some guys smoking a crack pipe.
Mhm. Let
That
me
that's
ask you the question let me ask you the question in a different way. What do you think when you take assessment of him giving executive order to release the leader of the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers by with executive order and giving them clemency? Do you think what do you think the majority of people in your community though?
I
Not
think
you.
people.
Not you.
I think the questioning, the questioning, how you're asking it is improper. The proper question is, what do you believe about presidential pardons? That should be the question. It shouldn't be a Republican or Democrat thing because they're both doing it.
Well, you know what the member, you know
No,
what the
no, no, no,
member,
no, no. We can't pick and choose what presidential candidate, which candidate we're going to ask a question about regarding a pardon when everybody's doing it. See, we just can't single that one guy out standing in the corner when everybody in the room is doing it. You see what I mean?
it was a big discussion in my neck of the woods, but I
Right.
get what you're saying.
No, but
But
and I understand where you're coming from because I know you personally. But at the end of the day, they were presidential pardons were handed out over the last 3 months
yeah,
of Biden administration, and
yes,
well, hell, we ain't even gotten to a month of the Trump.
yes.
But once they both did it, I was turned off by it.
Okay, okay,
That's my opinion. That's my stance on it.
okay, okay,
And
okay. I got it. But you
right,
know, you got a question. He said one of these five guys named Bullsball or something like
something
that.
like that.
I don't even know who that is, brother.
And them goddamn protesters were feds. Half them people were federal employees that Trump and well, I wouldn't say Trump. Oh, what's his face? What's my guys? I'm a Bannon. I like Steve Bannon's policies. His
Yes,
leverage of them are kind of weird, but if you look at Steve Bannon's policies on paper, he's actually I can agree with a lot of the stuff that he believes. But there was a text or an all call given. Hey y'all, we going on to the Capitol building. We need everybody to show up. All them goddamn federal employees
family show. Go ahead, brother.
put on a mask and put on a hoodie, and they just listen. It's all smoke and mirrors. It was all bullshit,
hmm
all BS.
Okay. Ask you a question. My next question is it's two questions related to the Proud Boys. My question is President Trump was asked, do you know anything about the Proud Boys? He said, no, I do not. Okay. But he said Proud Boys, he was explained about the group. He said, stand down and stand by. Do you think that was appropriate for him after it was explained to him what the group represented?
Was it appropriate?
Yeah, for
Once,
him to I'm saying
because
after it was explained to him what
right,
the Proud Boys represented, he said, "I don't know, but Proud Boys stand by and stand down." Do you think that was appropriate after it was explained to him what the group was all about?
what did he mean by stand down and stand by? I don't get.
In other words, the Proud Boys wanted to do something where if they thought that if he gave out the message
Oh,
the election was rigged. I got tapes of him saying he said, "I don't know the Proud Boys, but you know
oh,
what, y'all
listen,
stand
listen
by
here, listen
and
here,
stand down."
listen here. As a student of politics, if
It
you
was
got
appropriate.
you a militia somewhere,
hmm
you
Wow,
got to hold on to your militia, man.
it was appropriate then.
It-
Okay.
listen, I don't listen. I don't know anything about the Proud Boys. Trump probably don't know nothing about the Proud Boys because he's too fucking old. He is from an era of Klansmen. I know he don't know shit about no Proud Boys because he's from an era. He's like 60 years away from these people, so I know he don't know. But that's the thing about politics. The thing about politics is, as a person who ran on the Republican ticket,
Yeah.
all of these Republican factions, all of these right wing factions, at the end of the day, all those guys could be supreme racists, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, they are still American citizens and they are still protected by some American laws.
So do you? So man, we going off into something. Damn, we going into another hour.
Oh,
So when we talk about, so would you your assessment when President Trump said that what there were black nationalists on one side. I forgot what they were protesting about, and there were white nationalists on the other side. And President Trump said there were good parties on both sides. You're saying they're good Americans, whether they belong to a white nationalist group or the Black Panthers. They're both exhibiting love for their country. Is that what you're saying?
you, those are two different incidents to my knowledge.
No, they would no. It was no. There were
Oh, the protest you're
white
referring
nationalists on one side, and there were Black Panthers. I forgot what the protest was about.
to, right?
But the
That's
thing
different
is, when they asked President Trump, said there were good people
on
on
both
both
sides.
sides. But you said he's saying that both of them love their country. They
No,
just wanted.
that's no. He said what he said. See, let's think about Trump. What he says is that's it. He said that there were good people on both sides. There were people who believe what they were protesting, and there were people who believe what one side was protesting. There were people on the other side that believe what they were protesting was good. Not all people who show up to protest are bad people.
Mhm. So,
Some
so
people,
there.
like I said, some people are just spectators. Some people just see a crowd. It's like when you see a street fight. For some odd reason, a lot of people run to street fights. Some people run to street confrontations. I'm the opposite. I leave because I know what lurks around the corner. But
Mhm.
if some group is protesting anti-trans policies,
I don't even want to talk about them. Go ahead, brother.
and then somebody on the other side is protesting pro-trans, do they make both sides bad or both sides good? Or good people on one side and good people on the other side?
They just see the country a different way. But
They just,
okay,
their perceptions are different.
okay, I get it.
Got
Okay.
somebody over here and somebody over here, and these people are killing each other, shooting each other. Now you gotta, that's when you just got people voicing their opinions. That's just people voicing their opinions. That's not illegal.
So basically, whether you're in the Aryan Nation, Ku Klux Klan member, and you in a you are in a black movement, a Latino movement, and they're protesting, there are essentially good. There are good people on different sides. They just see the country differently. Is that what you say?
That's exactly.
Okay, I
Klan,
get it.
unfortunately, Klansmen who
Mhm.
preach hate do still reserve the right to express themselves.
Yes,
They
yes.
get permits, they get their pillowcases, they can march down the street to Christ come back. That's it.
Hmm.
That's their right. If Black
Hmm.
Panthers decide that if them brothers want to protest some injustices that they believe are transpiring, they have the right to do that.
So there are good people on both
There
sides. I
are,
get it.
well, no, that's I guess in that stance, yes. If Klansmen believe what they believe, but no, because Klansmen preach hate.
Yes.
But let's just say hypothetically, like I was saying, you had something LGBTQT or whatever on one side, and some on the other side was anti. The people who on the LGBT that support it have that right.
Yeah.
They have that right. People who are pro-abortion have that right.
Yeah. They're good people on both
There,
sides.
there are
They
good
just
people
have
on.
different viewpoints.
It's
That's what you're saying. I get it. I get
it's not
it.
a matter of good or evil. It's just that people have their opinion. See the way that our government work, our country works. People have beliefs. and people have rights with their beliefs.
Why didn't President Donald Trump explain it like this? That makes
Because
sense.
it's half the time I don't even explain myself to people, because at the end of the day, people have their minds made up, and people are going to believe what they want to believe. Like Florida, I was just explaining to someone. They said DeSantis and all these people are trying to get rid of Black history. See, what had happened was
Critical race theory. Yeah.
the Rainbow Coalition
I-
had they
I-
had
yeah.
they pamphlets, and they
Yeah.
forced it in the Black section of the textbooks.
Yeah.
So then it became, oh no, get that, delete that chapter. Oh, now y'all want to get rid of Black history. No, no, no. Don't put the Rainbow Coalition struggles with Black struggles,
I get it.
because those are two different struggles.
I get it.
Don't put the don't nobody put anything regarding anything on the back of my ancestors.
Sheesh. Gee, I get it. Hey man, you got a question in the chat room. Let's see. First of all, I gotta look up deep state. The deep state controls state. Trump is trying to control all of
Oh,
us, I
that's
guess. I
that's
mean, as the president, but go ahead, brother. Can
that's
you
true.
address that?
That's true.
Yeah.
There,
Can you
there,
explain? Can
there
you
is
explain?
there,
Somebody doesn't know what the deep state. What is the deep state, brother? I don't know.
it all that varies. I've heard it differently from several different mouths, from several people in the same room. So it depends. Some people refer to it as corporate entities trying to control things. Some people call it social organizations trying to control things. You hear names from Bill Gates all the way to George Soros when it comes to the deep state. So, and then the control state is just simply someone who's exerting power over individuals. And at the end of the day, Trump is so powerful that, hey, why take control of one when I can have both?
Yeah. The other part of it says that Trump is trying to control all of us.
Not
What is
all
your
of us. Not all of us. That's in reference to the deep state and the control state.
okay?
So
Okay.
yeah,
For
theoretically,
sure. Yeah.
he's trying to control us all. But
Okay.
listen, hey, if you got the tenacity, to control, you are a special individual. If you want to control,
Yes.
I don't even want to control. I don't understand what people needs of controlling. I listen, because you're responsible. You're responsible when things go left. You're responsible when things go right. When people turn around and come for you, it,
Yes.
yeah, it's. But yeah, I can see Trump trying to get it all. Why
Okay.
not?
Let me give a quick note here. You know what? I'm talking to Jabaris. He is a geopolitical strategist for the Republican Party, and hey, you need his services. His information will be in the description. And support the Underground Railroad podcast by making a donation at our PayPal account, and buy some clothes off our YouTube page. Buy some products to spread this. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. Brother, I'll go ahead. I didn't let you finish your thoughts. So I'm going to go to the next video
Oh, no,
once you
I was
finish your
done.
thoughts.
I
Okay.
was.
Okay, I'm going to go to the next video and we're going to be discussing immigration. I have to hear the Republican response. Okay, let me get this
everyone who is here illegally over the next 4 years.
Well, rules, regulations, laws, they came in illegally. You know, the people that have been treated very unfairly are the people that have been online for 10 years to come into.
Play it one more time.
Is it your
Play it
plan
one
to
more
deport
time.
everyone who is here illegally over the next 4 years?
Well, rules, regulations, laws, they came in illegally. You know, the people that have been treated very unfairly are the people that have been online for 10 years to come into the country.
Okay, so let me get rid of this. Be patient, because like I said, I'm still learning this technology. And let me bring him back. And I'd like to ask you about immigration. Do you think that it is right for someone to come into the country and go to a sanctuary city in impunity and get funds that are allocated for citizens that live in that city, and to bring up property taxes? What do you think about that?
Well, you just put a whole lot of
Hmm.
interesting. Um, I'm not I have no problem with immigration.
Hmm.
I have no problem with immigration. Um, that's just the way the world works. People 100, 200 years from now, America will look totally different. That's just the order of
Yeah.
things.
Yes.
That's Europe, Asia. That's just the way things work. I have no
Ye-
problem with immigration, um, if it's done right. What we
Yes.
saw when Biden was in office was dangerous, in my opinion. And it's not people coming here to try to get a better life or try to build something for themselves or their family. It's nothing wrong with that. There's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with that. But when you have a border open like it was with those caravans coming in, when God knows who's coming in, I'm absolutely certain some of America's greatest threats are here now,
Yes.
and they came in via the southern border in them caravans.
Hmm.
The influx of illegal drugs, the
Yeah.
sex trafficking, children trafficking,
Hmm.
all of that is what I think about when I see things like that. I
Hmm.
don't think about somebody fleeing some country, um, or somebody entering the country illegally. Actually, first thing I see is individuals who could be sent here to carry out atrocities
Hmm.
at some unknown order. That's what
Yeah.
I think of. For the most part, I voted for Trump, and I'm going to support him in regards to deporting people. There are 53,000 people who are illegal in Chicago, or those who came within the last few months,
Hmm.
because it's far more than 53,000.
Yes.
They've snatched up 150, I think,
Hmm.
of them thus far. And the ones they snatched up are ones who actually have very, very bad backgrounds. People like murder,
Hmm.
all type of crazy.
Hmm.
So listen, if they're gonna listen, the policy, the rules, the law, they're gonna deport people. They're gonna deport people. I will not stand in a way. If I'm walking down the street, I'm minding my business, because at the end of the day, the reason why a lot of people like myself in Chicago is turned off by this
Yeah.
immigration piece is because when these individuals entered Chicago, they were given, not all of them, some of them was given red carpet treatment, some of them were placed in hotels, some of them received food stamps, some of them received that. But at the end of the day, the bulk of the money actually went to companies and contractors who were assisting
Yes.
with the migration, with the immigration process, or situation.
Yeah.
Um, hey, guess what? If people need, in order to stop elected officials here from
Hmm.
spending money recklessly, then I think that's where a lot of people are supporting uh, the deportation of people.
Let me ask you the question. I'm gonna ask you the question in a different way. You're not against immigration. You're against illegal immigration. Is
I'm
that
against illegal.
is that what it is? Is that what you're saying?
That's what it is.
Okay.
No, because at the end of the day, most people here are immigrants.
Yes.
Yeah, most of us are immigrants.
Mhm.
Well, a lot of other people, unless you got
Yeah.
some. Uh,
Yes.
so. Yeah, I mean, but what people fail to realize, because people always say, "Oh, well, whites and blacks and yada yada yada, everybody's illegal." At the end of the day, the conqueror sets the rules.
Yes.
The
Yes.
conqueror sets the rules. Yes, the U.S. government and most of its operation and most of the people within it, us, you, me, whites, black, Asians, other Latinos, yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of us are illegal. Well,
Yeah,
no, a lot of us we aren't
mhm.
illegal because the conquerors who set forth the rules said that we aren't and said that these are the rules that we will abide by. So anybody who do not abide by these rules are lawbreakers.
Mhm.
So
Do you think? Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
that's what separates us 8 and 9 and 10 generation individuals from somebody who just casually walked across the border. That's
Yes.
the difference. That's the difference.
My question is to you, but I'm gonna get to Chicago. My question is to you. I'd like for you to address. Do you think that the head of Homeland Security, I forgot his name, Mr. Border, I think. Oh, not Homeland Security. I mean, the borders are.
ICE.
Do
Right.
you think that he's too harsh to say? Somebody made a statement from him, man, separating the children from the parents. He said, "I'm not against that." He said they can all leave together. Do you think that's too harsh in
No.
terms of? Damn, go ahead, brother.
No,
Go ahead, brother.
I only say that. No, this is what I mean.
That's not too
Because
harsh. Okay.
no, at the end of the day, if let's
He
just
said
say
he's not against breaking up families. He said they
if
can all
I
leave
if
together.
I entered this country, if I walked across the border and got on a plane, entered this country 10 years ago,
Yes.
got married and had a kid, and they said I have to go for whatever reason. First off, my kid and my woman coming with me, that's not even an option.
Yes.
That's not even an option. See, people just nick and pick at shit. No, come on. Well, they put me out, so we got to go. Pack up your bags because we bouncing. That's it. And
Yes,
then
sir.
um the
Damn.
separation, bro,
Yes.
there's so much going on that we don't know about. It's crazy. They were saying that they were separating children from adults and blah blah this, blah blah
Shit.
that.
Yeah, pedophiles. They should have.
But a lot of people aren't talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah, they trafficking. It's not
Yeah.
all about fentanyl. It's about trafficking children.
You have to separate the children from some of the. You got pedophiles. It makes sense. I get it. Go ahead, brother.
Children are being sold day in and day out, day in and day out,
Yes.
and
Yes.
guys on the border,
Hmm.
government, some government officials in America, because it said that there were some officials within the government who were not participating in it per se, but not doing what they're supposed to do in regards to protecting children.
Yes. 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 And, my question is, let me lead this into a segue that going to address the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, saying that if you are born in the United States, you are classified as a citizen. And I'm going to play a video of what President Donald Trump says.
Now, you
And I'm
know what? I'm not seeing the videos that you play.
okay. Oh, you're not?
No.
I don't know why not. Okay. I don't know why, but okay, I just go over it. Let me play it right quick, okay?
To get birthright citizenship or automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens. And it's ridiculous. We're the only country that has it, and certainly the only country that has it to that extent. And it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for.
Okay, I'm going to play it one more time for people that may have missed it.
Working
Okay.
hard to get
Okay.
birthright citizenship or automatic
Okay, now I see.
citizenship for the children of illegal aliens. And it's ridiculous. We're the only country that has it, and certainly the only country that has it to that extent. And it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for children of slaves.
Okay. And I'm going to come back. Okay. And Barris, do you think that it is wrong if somebody came into the country illegally? Okay, and they had buried a child, that child should get automatic citizenship according to the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Is that fact?
It's not a
Should
matter.
it be re-ratified? What I'm saying is, should it will eventually go to the Supreme Court? What do you think? Should that be changed?
The law is the law.
Laws can be changed. Do you think it should be
That- that-
changed?
Do I? What do I care about someone? The law. I told you I'm an institutionalist. The
Okay.
Constitution outlines it. Anybody born here is an American. Now, people will try to reverse it or whatever, I guess. But I mean, it is what it is. As it stands right now, the law is the law. To the best of my knowledge, since Trump has been sworn in, there have been measures in place to try to reverse it, but it was shot down by some judges or something somewhere. So at that point, I just stopped following it because at the end of the day, it ain't going nowhere because it is a actual law within the Constitution of the United States. It's an actual amendment. It's not going anywhere.
My other question to you is: are you sure about it? Because the conservatives controlled, they
No, but
control,
no, no, no,
they
no.
control. Let me finish. They control not control. It's heavily influenced the Supreme Court judges. So this will go to court and go to the highest
Not,
judges in the
not
land.
necessarily. Not necessarily, because to amend something of that statute will take 2 years, and 2 years from now, the Senate and the House, and hell, two Republicans or two Democrat members of the Supreme Court, justice, they can step down. Things like that. Those are the. I try not to deal with too many hypotheticals, and especially things that I won't say that will not happen or will never happen. It's a matter of odds. See, the thing about my position in the political spectrum is it's about odds. We deal with odds and numbers.
Yeah.
They have. It's not a matter of a majority. You still need the process just to amend that. It's just too. It ain't worth it.
But
And
it
I'm
will be for the Supreme Court judges to
no
decide.
because no because
Yeah.
no because you need Congress to actually. You need Congress to ratify that. It'll have to be 100% Republican in both the House and the Senate, and all of them will have to completely be aligned to have power for it. Well, if it was 100% Republican, they can probably do it quicker.
Okay.
But the odds of that happening, the the country
Go
just
ahead.
it's the country is pretty much split down the middle when it comes to ideology.
Yeah.
You have the left and you have the right.
Yeah, it is.
So it's just unless 25% or 50% of the left just completely evaporated,
Mm-hmm.
Congress, the House lost another 50% of its seats. The Senate lost another 50% of its seats, the Democrat.
Republicans controlled the Congress and the Senate, and I'm not going to say controlled the Supreme Court. They're more conservative Supreme Court judges. Um, on the
Right.
bench.
There's more. Right. But Republican and conservatism is two different things. I mean, for the most part, they just align with each other. But the conservatives on the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court don't stay along the laws of the land. The Supreme Court
Oh, can I
probably
ask you? Now I got to address you. Now you made that statement. They just gave President Donald Trump he has immunity. I don't know.
yeah,
You
but
said they.
that man
Yeah.
that man that took so much stuff to the Supreme Court now, things that I actually was in support of, and a lot of it escaped me at the moment. But there were a lot of stuff taken to the Supreme Court by Trump, and the Supreme Court was like, no, no,
He, you
no,
aware that you aware that he has immunity as long as he's president. You're aware of
yeah.
that. Okay. So
That's always
what I'm saying.
that's no, but that's always been the see because people are mixing things. That's always been. I learned that as a kid in seventh grade during the Constitution, although it has not
Okay.
been said, but the president of the United States, when they are in the position, when they are in the White House, they have immunity in regards to policy making and decisions that are for the greater good of the American
Wow.
people.
Wow. Okay. Now
Because
that
the
you
American
mean. Mhm.
because the American every president of the United States have got blood on their hands. All of them.
Okay.
There is not one clean president in the history of this
This is
country.
this,
So
this
that
is the first. This is let me say so. This is the first time in the United States nation that it has been made a law
right
saying that the president has immunity. So in other words, if there was another President Nixon that wanted to cause a Watergate by breaking into something, having his people break, he would be absolved by immunity. But the laws can be changed. And
laws
like I
can be
said,
a Nixon resigned. Nixon resigned of his own will.
I get that. I was just using that as an
Right.
example.
All right. So yeah, it's always been a saying that presidents have certain immunity. Let you beat pistol and go shoot somebody in the middle of Times Square and see what happens.
He's, he's not the president. I
Let
get that.
Trump do the
He's not a
same
president.
thing.
He's not.
Right.
Yeah,
But
but but
there's
you're aware
certain
that. But you are aware that the
you don't have
Supreme Court judge did give him immunity. They did, and that actually that's just
what
not for
type of
him.
what
It's on the books. I don't know.
what type
Mhm.
right. A, because I'm fairly certain it is not 100% blanket immunity. I'm fairly certain that it's not one sheet of paper that says the president of the United States have blanket immunity. I'm pretty sure that document or the law or the act itself
I
got
follow. I follow like you. I follow the news. I know. I know they
it's
did. I
right.
know the
I'm
Supreme
pretty sure
Court did.
there's stipulation. There is you just cannot as president. If I'm the president and I don't like that guy over there and he's running against me, and somehow I just simply hire a hitman to go hit him, and all of it can be traced back to me. The payments can come back to me. The eyewitnesses, my
Immunity.
assistant, yeah, not that. I'm pretty sure that he won't get
Hey, you
100%
know
immunity.
what? People that are listening to this, tell me if I'm right, if I'm wrong. If he's right, I'm wrong. You know what? And if you like this broadcast, please, we'll give
Yeah,
us on our YouTube page. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'd like to ask you. I get it, the Republican view. I have a question. My other question for you is leading back to citizenship. So you saying is if immigrants came into the country undocumented, the Constitution should remain the same.
correct.
The child should be a United States citizen. Donald Trump is wrong about that, in your opinion.
It's not a matter of him being right or wrong. It's not a matter of being right or wrong. What he believes is that people are somehow taking advantage of that system, I'm guessing, and that the policy should be changed. That doesn't
Yeah.
make him wrong. It's just that he believes that there should be a change to a law.
Do you think it should be changed to the law? I left the same.
I think the Constitution is fine the way it is.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, why? Nah, I don't think nothing. The document seems solid to me.
Yes. And you know what, brother? You know what, brother? Let me give a recap. I'm talking to Brother Jabaris Talaba. He is a geopolitical strategist for the Republican Party, and he has supported many Republican candidates. Unfortunately, I tried to get out of him. He cannot reveal who he is,
Uh,
who he has helped in their campaign because of confidentiality and documentation. So I tried to pry it out of him, and he is for hire if you're running for office, and I will have him give out the information if you're thinking about running in 2 years, 3 years, or right now. This is the individual to hire. So I'm tooting your horn, so I'm going to let him toot his horn. And if there's any
right,
final information or pertinent information that you want to put out, I have a delivering message in your social media platform that people can get in contact with you.
right.
And how can you help
So
politicians?
right now, I'm actually um, getting myself in position to assist any Republicans, um, black, white, blue, or green, in Chicago, who, because of the unpopularity, because our mayor,
Hmm.
Brandon Johnson, is so unpopular, that there's a call now, and people are now willing to get in bed with Republicans.
Hmm.
So I'm getting myself in position to be able to assist those who are going to seek positions in Chicago for the most part, the Cook County area at large, and maybe even on some state level stuff.
Hmm.
So I'll give you the contact information, and then we can kind of shoot it out to everybody.
Now, you know what? You as being a political strategist, if somebody needed help from you, like in a different state, is would you help somebody in another state? I know
Oh
there's a fee. I know there's a fee, but would you
yeah,
help
yeah,
other Republican candidates in different states
yeah.
like Washington and New York? And
Oh
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. I'll help any Republican. Well,
Okay.
let me not say that. I'll help. I'm a registered Republican, but you have to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Have to make sense. Just because you are a Republican does not mean that I am going to support you or even assist you.
Consult them at all. I get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got nothing to do with the money. So, yeah, as long as you're cool, as long as you're solid, I'll pretty much, you know, kick it with you. But if you weird and you owe some other stuff, I'm going to move around. But
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
Have you changed? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Hmm.
I'm looking forward to seeing how Chicago, what happens in Chicago over the next 2 years.
Okay, and but I did hear you say unless you change your position, say you will help a Democrat, but his thinking has to be conservative. I'm asking.
I have helped members help individuals run on the Democratic ticket. I have,
Wow,
I have.
because
No,
of that,
I don't think that all Republicans are bad. I don't think that all Republican policies are bad.
all Democrats are not bad. Okay,
All Democrats are not bad.
okay,
All Democratic policies are not bad. Like all Republicans aren't good. All Republican policies aren't good.
but you are a Republican
I am a
strategist.
registered Republican.
NRA.
I overwhelmingly support Republicanism. I align. My ideology is more aligned with the Republican Party.
Hmm. Okay, and what is your you know what where people can hire you? Okay, I imagine you have a website and telephone number and all
Mhm.
that. And I will put that in the description. Do you want
I don't have any of that, but hey, the other people that finds me finds me.
to? How would that? So what he's going to do is once he sends me the information, I will
No, no,
put
no. We'll let them find me. Other people find me. How do other people find me? Other people be like, hey,
word of mouth.
I know you. I'm like, you do not know me, bud.
So no email address for the people
Oh
then.
no.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
Because if people right no, I never ask people for contact information. I always find individuals. If
Okay.
it's somebody I want to find or somebody I need to know, I find them and I
They
get to know.
want to they want to get to know you. They
If,
need your
if
contact.
they if they are serious about it, then they'll find me.
Okay. Okay.
Most of have the people who control Washington D.C. people have never even heard of them.
Yes.
I mean, you were like the only person I actually sat down and do like interviews with.
I appreciate it. And I
I don't,
appreciate the
I don't
time.
even do interviews with people.
Yes. Yes.
So,
So you go ahead.
but we're living in a polarizing time.
Yeah.
So but yeah, people who really need help or people who really want to get in contact with me, they'll find a way. If they can't find me, then it's not meant to be.
Wow.
That's yeah.
Okay. So, but as we get ready to sign off, brother, is there any, I've been asking you a series of questions for an hour and 40 minutes. There may be a particular message that you want to disseminate to the people, and I most certainly want to give you that time.
Uh, I just always advise people to go out and do their due diligence before they vote. Um, as we can see now, traditional media is full of shit. So just try to find like some independent sources of information. Be your own individual. Think for yourself. You know, I'm just enjoying the ride,
Okay.
enjoying the ride at this time
Hmm.
because I mean the new government has been in place for 2 weeks and it already feel like a year with just all the policies and the executive orders just coming out the White House. And
Hmm.
a lot of it is just distraction. So
Yes.
you got to be able to decipher and look past the distractions
Hmm.
and think for what it really is.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
if that's the message, that's the message. Try to seek what is truly is.
Yes.
One of my favorite quotes. How do it's believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, or none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Yes.
Yeah, you just don't take things. Don't look at the media and be like, oh, well, the media said this, oh, the media said that, or things like that. You have to talk to people. You really have to talk. You really have to talk to people. You
Yes.
really find out what the president's, not president, but what the president's is. You got to see where something was, where it's at, and where it can go. Make
Okay.
decisions based off, you know, you know.
Hmm.
Well, I would say make sole decisions based off history, but we're living in a very unique time. I
Yes.
mean, we're at. I mean, it's.
Hmm.
You guys should politics. There's a saying in politics: you take it day by day.
Yes.
Right now, you have to take life day by day
Yeah.
because things are forever shifting. Things
Yes.
are forever shifting, and people say I talk too vaguely, but what happens on Mondays don't happen on Wednesdays. What happens on
Yeah.
Wednesdays don't happen on Fridays. So you got
Yes.
to, I've been so successful in my life because I'm fluid, if that's the
Hmm.
term. Like you have to be adaptable. You have
Yeah.
to. I'm more reserved. So I sit
Yes.
back and watch how everybody operates before I make my decision.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have it's a combination. It's like a algebraic. expression. It's a formula. You have to get a formula that works for you. So I can tell y'all my formula, but my formula may not work for you. My formula is
Yeah.
my formula. That's how I navigate. So
Hmm.
you have to develop your formula for
Yes.
who are individuals watching elected officials
Hmm.
or an elected official yourself. It's just we live in a time where there's the order is different. You
New
you
World Order. Huh? Go ahead.
you 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 have to you just got to play it by ear and just go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, you just you know.
But let me say something footnote that if it's God's will, he will the Republican geopolitical strategist will return next week, and I will have a Democrat on and a moderate on to get their assessments and their views at 12:30 p.m. Central Time. We in Chicago, and that is a show. I got questions, and it's not to be argumentative. It's to hear
Right,
different perspectives, like Lynn Tucker Solutions.
right.
Okay, he's invited on. I'm just waiting for him to come and tell us about Lynn Tucker Solutions. Can you tell us about that show real quick?
It's just it's a local show here in Chicago, um, advocacy show. If that's the best way to community advocacy talks about um changes and what takes place uh,
Yes.
politically,
Hmm.
social, um, pretty much for the local Chicago, Cook County
Hmm.
state. They do throw some federal stuff in there because Trump is just something that people just can't get enough of. It appears it seems.
Hmm.
So it's a panel of there is a lawyer on the panel. There is a psychiatrist on the panel.
Mr.
There is a
Salazar. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
there's a retired education administrator. I think it was like a principal or something like that. You have
We had Warsaw.
yeah, you had another a local municipal employee on there. Then Tucker himself, who's done everything from public schools to park district to he. I mean, he's been in the public space for all
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a really good show. It's really fair minded. It's a fair minded. It's
Yes.
not a one sided show.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a panel of distinguished men, um, and they just have discussions about things that happen locally.
Yeah. And
Right.
very interesting show. And you know what? I urge you to support Lynn Tucker Solutions that is made in Chicago and comes on Comcast TV. And it's about networking. Let me tell this to the people out there. You know what? You cannot live in this world by yourself. And you
No, you
know what? I wouldn't want to. so so I hope that y'all see this. I'm gonna put this on Can Television and other social media platforms. It's a lot of people that have been listening because I'm looking at the counts of people that come in. But and I look forward to, with this Allah's will, you coming on next week. You and Dahlia, she has a show at Can TV, and Randy Evans, who was a researcher in Chicago. And I asked you to support the Underground Railroad TV show that comes on every Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. Central Time, and our podcast, and make a donation. And on our YouTube page, look below, you can buy some of our products to support the Underground Railroad TV show and our podcast. I want to thank you for I want to thank you for coming on, and let me turn this phone. I want to thank you, and I'm much appreciative of you giving me your time. I know you have a lot of political people that you are helping out, and I want to thank you of giving her your time. Okay.
always, always a pleasure.
All right, brother. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Okay. So, thank you. So, I say, what, support him and help him. And you know what? He is a genuine person that is astute. He's intelligent, but he is a Republican strategist. And you know what? He wants to help a lot of people. I don't think it's just about the money. I think that he has a genuine passion for helping people. And support us by looking below and making a donation to our PayPal account, or buy a T-shirt, buy a cup, something for for your computer, like a mouse pad and other accessories on our YouTube page. And I want to thank all the people and say assalamu alaikum, and it means peace and blessings be upon you. And this is coming from out of Chicago, the United States of America. We should be back on, if it's God's will, Allah's will, next Saturday at 12:30 p.m. That's lunchtime, okay, in the United States, Central Time. Okay. So say assalamu alaikum.